What's the most important thing in the world to you?
My hamster.
Are there any gangs in the neighborhoods where you live?
Gangs? Like gang members, like Al Capone. There aren't any that I know of.
What happens to people who don't believe in God?
Well, God punishes them. Like, some people, they just die if they don't believe in God. And it really does hurt God's feelings.
You don't have to get married to have a baby because it's something that everybody has to do, or you can have an operation not to have it. Well, you have to be with a boy to have a baby.
No, you don't.
Girls, they're quite good. Like, they be friendly, but the boys, they fight instead of being friendly like the girls. But I'm a little friendly. I'm friendly, I'm bad, I'm good, I'm friendly, I'm not friendly. I'm everything.
In 1990, we made a film featuring 7-year-olds from across the United States. The contrast of their opinions and experiences opened a unique window into our society. Now those children are 14. We've returned, as we will every 7 years, to see how life has changed them. Is it true that at 7, life's blueprint is already in place? 7 years ago, we met Kate when she was living on New York's affluent Upper East Side. As was her friend Lucy.
You're going to receive another
Ballerina.
Yes.
And their friend Alexis. All 3 children attended Nightingale, an elite private school for girls.
Why they make us wear uniforms is because how they know that we're a Nightingale girl, and also because it's a symbol of Nightingale. It's something that Nightingale wants girls to be.
What happens to someone who doesn't wear the right uniform?
If they break the rules, which they shouldn't do, I think they should be sent home.
No, they'll be suspended.
No, they'd be suspended, even in kindergarten. What does that mean?
Is that fair?
Suspended means that
You're kicked out of school and you can't come to it anymore.
That's expelled.
My teachers, for some reason, just think I'm like a little devil, and I'm not. I'm such a good kid. I'm such a nice person. Can't even tell you. And my teachers, like, just, for some reason, I have these problems with authority. I don't know why. I guess it's just like me wanting to be. I just hate, like, having to listen to people when you know that you're right and they're wrong. But again, that's something that you're going to have to do in the real world. You have to know
Everybody probably has problems with authority. I mean, nobody wants to admit that they're wrong, or no one wants to listen to somebody else saying,
I have no problem admitting I'm wrong. You don't understand. A big change from when I was 7 is that I can take criticism, I can admit when I'm wrong. Fine, but like when I'm right, I'm not going to let teachers, I'm not going to let grown-ups tell me that I'm wrong and put me in my place, because whatever. Anyway, I'm still in the process of learning how to deal with authority.
Lucy's in her first year at Lawrenceville, a boarding school just outside of Princeton, New Jersey.
It's co-ed, and it's no uniform, and I love it. It's great. I think it's even more exclusive than private schools. As much as I love my home and my parents, I love the freedom and being like independent at boarding school.
At 7, Alexis walked to school from her apartment on Park Avenue. Now she goes to Chapin, one of New York's oldest and most competitive girls' schools.
Chapin just puts immense pressure on you to, do well. I mean, even like friends compete with friends. Like, oh, what did you get on that test? And you'll be like, oh, I got, B plus or whatever, and they're like, oh, well, I got an A, and ha ha ha.
People do that at your school?
Oh yeah, and like
See, I could
and
never deal with
it's
that.
just so annoying because there's just so much like academic competitiveness to be the best.
Why do you want to be rich when you grow older? I want to be rich because then I never run out of money. And I also want to be rich because that's one of the things in my life that I always like to be. I like to be rich. I have a feeling. It's not right. Alexis, rich doesn't just mean that you have a lot of money. Did you know that? Rich also means very fortunate.
When I went to a school like Nightingale, most of the parents, like, they're so, well, not so much in third grade when I left, but like right now, like in the kind of schools they are, they're so driven. They care so much. The kids care that they get into these great schools, and you start like losing like what really does that really matter in your life? Are you gonna look back and think, oh well, my life would have been so much more enriched if I'd went to Yale or Harvard? Is that really the purpose to succeed and be the top? Is that really what's important?
I didn't do like half the question.
Recently, Kate moved to a bedroom community just 35 minutes outside of Manhattan.
I go to public high school, and it's different from Nightingale, from private all-girls uniform school. It's probably not as good academically, but I like the atmosphere a lot more. I really am glad that I got the chance to grow up in the city, because I feel like it's opened up my eyes to the world more because of its diversity, both racially and economically, seeing all the different people and neighborhoods and everything. It's made me a more aware person.
7 years ago, Lewis was living with his mother and 6 siblings in a homeless shelter on Manhattan's Lower East Side.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live?
In Milwaukee, because it's quiet there. There's only one cop, because there's only one cop in that place.
Which do you like better, living here or in New York?
New York.
Why?
It's my kind of place, you know. Thought Milwaukee was better, but I thought wrong, you know. Milwaukee's dangerous. You have to watch how you look at people. Over here, it's like, who do you think you're looking at, you know? Over here, you have to maintain a certain reputation. You can't be the quiet little kid, because they'll mess with you, and you can't be the big-time star, because there'll always be people who want to fight you.
What would your reputation be?
Like, if you want to find something out, you go ask Lewis. You know, it's like, is Max still with Martha, and, you know, stuff like that, you know? Or, so who won the fight, and, you know, who started it, you know, like, where was it, you know? So it's like, my reputation would be like the funny guy, you know, the messenger. Kind of like, you know, Hermes, you know, the messenger of the gods, something like that, you know.
What about your real father, the father that was with your
He
mother
lives
when you were born?
someplace else. I don't know. He moved from the first place that I know he lived. I wanted to go to his house, but my mother told me that I can't go there because since I don't have to go there if he doesn't come here. So, that's it.
How long ago was that?
How long? When I was a little baby, when I was 5.
So he doesn't live at home with you anymore?
They broke up.
My mom took me, my brother, my sister to live with my father, because, you know, we're his kids. When I was with my father, everything was all cool, till we had problems, you know. My father, like, got a little crazy sometimes, you know, he drank, you know, so, we had to, I told my mother what he had, you know, done before, and, we went to a foster care, and we stayed there for another 2 years.
Lewis and his siblings were put into foster care when his mother entered a drug treatment program. When it was completed, she and the children came to Milwaukee to be near her extended family. They're still living on public assistance.
My other brother and sisters were in foster care. So my mama had no kids. And she worked hard and hard for 2 years while we were in foster care. Check out Donna. Which one you want? Brown or white? Brown. Okay. Brown took the white one. Emily. She got a diploma for completing her rehabilitation. She got us back, she won us back, and now we're living with her, so everything turned out good. Which one you want? It's gonna be good. I know that for a fact. It was hard before, it got better. It's hard now, it's gonna get better. So I'm just looking forward for the better part, you know?
Seven years ago, we met Eric in a suburb of Chicago, Illinois.
I don't have a brother or sister besides my dog, so sometimes when I used to not have any friends or he didn't want to play with me, my only friend didn't. I just said I wish I had a brother.
Eric and his parents have just returned from a 2-year stay in Hong Kong.
It was a great experience. Made a lot of friends. It was multicultural, it was multilingual. I think I became more independent, more sure of myself. I feel more mature, probably because I've had these extraneous experiences that a lot of people haven't had, which I can understand completely. But yeah, I tend to associate with older kids now because I feel I fit in with them better. I started a web design firm on the internet in Hong Kong. We've been successful with it. I have a wonderful staff of designers.
How many people on your staff?
About 10. I've got a post in Hong Kong and Chicago, so 2 offices, which allows us to reach more of an international market. Do home pages in Chinese, English, French, Spanish, whatever. We have the capabilities and do that routinely. Just as somebody who might be a good, golfer, a good football player, whatever. I guess I'm a good CEO.
He ran for student council and he got picked. He ran for student council, he got picked. I ran for student council and I got picked.
Yeah,
and everybody follows us. It's like
Everywhere.
Because they always want to play with us.
About 40 minutes from Eric's house, in the city of Chicago, we met Douglas, Vicky, and Mike. Last year, all 3 graduated from the neighborhood parochial school, where they've been friends since kindergarten.
Are there robberies in your neighborhood?
Yes. My snowblower got stolen, but the robber couldn't carry it. The police got it back.
Yeah, it's still like a relatively decent neighborhood, it's not bad, but I mean, it's a lot worse than it was before.
Definitely. I mean, when I was like littler, when I was walking down the street, I was fine. But I mean, now it's like I gotta be careful. I gotta watch my back, see if I still got my wallet and all that. Look around for people if they look suspicious or anything like that.
I might just really don't want to have kids when I grow up.
Any reasons?
No.
Do you look forward to growing up and being an adult?
Sometimes. Sometimes I think it's so hard being a kid. I might just wish I'm a grown-up.
Oh, we're at threshold of pain. Me and Doug like heavy metal. Because, we think like all the other kinds of music, it just doesn't take enough talent. But the heavy metal guys, they got all the talent,
Some kids that I know, they're like, oh, that's stupid. They don't sing about, they just sing about, war and death and stuff. Well, you actually got to look at the lyrics and see what they're really singing about. You just can't say, oh, he's singing about war because he's singing in, a lower, screamy voice. I think heavy metal is, underrated.
The people who play alternative, they couldn't play with most of them. They couldn't play what the metal guys were playing, but the metal guys could play like what the alternative guys are playing, like in their sleep. I mean, it's like a lot more talent is required.
I don't know if a lot more talent is required for a lot of yelling. I was on the freshman volleyball team, and now it's the winter season, so I'm on the basketball team. I also play club volleyball throughout the season, and then I want to try out for the softball team. Being a part of sports, I've learned to become like a better leader. I've learned how to control myself. I've learned how, if I get mad, I've learned to control it because I don't want to take it out on my teammates. I'd rather like play harder. I try to work really hard, and that helps me out in regular life because when I play sports, I work really hard. So that it shows that I'm a hard worker.
Do any of you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend?
No, I used to. I used to.
Uh-huh. Have you ever kissed a girl, Douglas?
Yes. Once.
Have you ever?
She kissed me twice.
Did you like it?
At the time, yes.
Has anyone got a boyfriend?
I'm single.
No, I don't have a boyfriend.
I'll have to agree with Mike. No boyfriends for me.
Anyone have a girlfriend?
No, I do.
So, Doug, have you kissed this girl yet, your new girlfriend?
Yes, I have.
And that's working out okay?
Yes, I suppose. Yes.
These apartments on Chicago's South Side are about 5 miles from the neighborhood where Douglas, Vicky, and Mike live. They're part of the Robert Taylor Homes, one of the nation's largest and most notorious public housing projects. A failed experiment from the late 1950s, buildings like these are slated to be torn down. This is where we first met Leroy.
How come you have to ride your bike up here on the porch?
So nobody won't take it from me.
Well, what happens if you ride your bike down below in the park?
They gonna push me off of it and take it.
Kenesha, who went to elementary school with Leroy, lived at the other end of the same projects.
Do you feel safe in the neighborhood you live in?
I feel safe if they don't shoot me. I don't think about it unless they point the gun. Then I run in the house. When they shoot me, know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna roll down the stairs.
Have you ever seen people shoot guns?
Yeah, they be sitting under our building it. Then sometimes they shoot under that wall thing. Ow. They ain't. Then they said, boo. His eye was laying on the floor. I saw it downstairs when I was going to school.
Why did you move out of the Robert Taylor Homes?
'Cause we were ready to move, and we didn't want to stay there no more because my mother and her mother, my grandmother was there for 33 years, and my mom was there for 32 years, and I was there for 14 years, so we had kind of got tired of the environment. We just wanted to get away from the people. Let us thank Him for our food. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for the food. Amen. I don't be involved with the people I used to be involved with.
Although Kenesha and her family have moved out of the projects, her new home is only a few blocks away.
What do you like about where you're at now?
It's quiet. I just have to watch it in the morning when I'm going to school by myself.
In an effort to distance herself even further from the projects, Kenesha commutes to a public high school 45 minutes from home.
Is it still dangerous to go down on the playground, to go out there these days?
Uh-huh. There's more members in the gang now, I guess.
What happens if you're out there?
You might get caught up in the crossfire or something.
Were you worried about getting shot?
Because I want to go down there. They can't shoot me while I'm in my house. Yeah, this bomb be coming in with that mini Mac 10 niggas don't want no static with this G from the VC. Smoking on that sticky that we got from the 50. Got my niggas with me. I was young, I used to like rap, but I ain't never used to do my own rap. And I started getting into my own stuff. Letting you have it, they don't want no static, cause they knew what we had was something that was gonna kill they ass. Niggas won't want no static with these G's.
We first met Ashton 7 years ago in the Midwestern town of Lincoln, Nebraska.
What kind of house would you like to live in when you grow up?
One that I live in right now. Something like the one that I live in right now. I like my backyard because it's a big backyard. And I have a lot of friends around here.
I swim for my high school. I played football earlier. I'm in a swing choir for school, and I'm in another choir outside of school. I do stuff for the community.
Do you think it's important to do things for your community?
Yeah, that's kind of what Lincoln is pretty well known for. We help each other out a lot. Big cities don't really throw me all that much.
What don't you like about big cities?
Oh, there's just like so many people, and it's really hard just to get to know anybody. And so a lot of the people aren't as gracious as they would be in other places.
Is it important to be rich?
No, sir.
Would you like to be rich when you grow up?
Yeah, but money isn't everything in the world.
It really don't matter as long as I have what I need. I mean, because for all I care, I could live out in somewhere in the woods and just kill all my food. I mean, it don't matter to me as long as I have somewhere to live.
Joey lives in the rural South, in a small town about an hour from Macon, Georgia.
I don't like being crowded and in the city. It ain't like you can go out in your backyard and shoot a gun or anything like that. But out in the country, you can go do whatever you want to, whenever you want to. You get kind of a rush whenever you kill a deer, whenever it walks out and stuff. It's just fun. I don't know. Being able to kill your own food, I guess. I don't know.
There isn't pretty things like flowers and stuff in the city, and there's lots of them in the country. And there isn't no ponds, which I like to fish.
How about traveling? Are you interested in traveling anywhere when you get older?
Not really. I just stay around here. No, that's for other people to do. They can do it. I mean, I'm just gonna stay around here, do what I've always done.
A few miles down the road from Joey lives Edie, in the same community her family has been in for generations.
Since I found my jump rope, I jump rope, play sometimes with my little brother, and I play in the water. And I ride my bicycle, and I go to my grandma's house.
Do you think you'll stay in the country for the rest of your life?
I don't think so, but I hope so.
I've had a lot of changes. I've had a few losses in the family. My uncle died, my grandmother, a few great uncles, and my grandmother has Alzheimer's now.
Please, come on, just drink it. Please drink, baby.
So
Thank you.
a lot has changed, had a big impact on me.
See, this what you get for drinking it.
I have.
Mwah.
Well, that's all right. I'll accept that.
You have to cherish the moment, really. Being here with them is just like, like right now, something could be happening. You just have to, every single minute, you have to cherish it.
In Los Angeles, we met Michael, Selena,
You okay?
and Julio. Julio's family immigrated to Los Angeles from El Salvador when he was a baby.
Is it better to speak English or Spanish in America?
¿Es mejor hablar en inglés o en español aquí? Español, porque aquí toda la gente casi no habla inglés.
Do you feel like at this point in your life, at 14, you're a part of America?
Well, no, cause you never forget where you come from, and you always have that at least a little bit of you when you came from. And just because you were born here or just raised there doesn't make you different from other people that were born in other countries.
This is a queen. This is a queen.
What's the hardest thing about not speaking English?
Sí, cuando no hablas en inglés. Aprender.
That's right.
So my family kept on telling me, do well in school, so then you'll be successful and have a good job. And have a steady job, not a hard job.
Julio was accepted to a public high school that prepares its students for careers in medicine. Once a week, he and his classmates volunteer at Los Angeles County Hospital.
Where does she walk to during the day?
¿Dónde camina durante el
Aquí al
día?
teléfono.
Just here to the phone and the back.
Does she have pain in her heel or anywhere?
Do you think you're going to go to college?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what colleges you might apply to?
Stanford and Harvard.
Michael, the great-grandson of Japanese immigrants, lives in a beachside community in West Los Angeles.
I want to see the world, Alaska, South Pole, North Pole, Africa, China, Tokyo. I want to meet new people, and I want to talk Japanese. Most of my relatives are Japanese, and I want to talk to them like the way they talk. And I mostly go to sushi a lot, and I want to talk to the sushi chefs.
I think it'd be really unique to have to own a restaurant and say it's yours, and then have people come into it and have it be really popular. I think that'd be really cool. It was, I don't know. It was a lot of.
Michael attends a small private school known for its academics.
Like that, you know? But I don't know. It was cool. I know. I play an after-school sport plus an out-of-school sport, and then there's parties to go to and like friends to hang out with and like, you know what I mean? Just like, aside from you have to do all your homework and like schoolwork and everything, and you have to play your sports. But like even more importantly than that, you have to like keep up a good relationship with your friends and stuff, you know? So that's what's real tough about the school. You don't really get that much time. Like honestly, the stuff we're learning in history right now, like everybody says when you grow up you need it and stuff, but like I really don't need to have knowledge on ancient Mesopotamia when I grow up and when I'm dealing with other people and stuff like that, you know? And I don't have to read like this Antigone that I'm reading right now in English. It's a good play, and it's not really helping me through life.
What do you do on the weekend?
Watch TV all the time, every day.
Who do you play with the most?
Nobody.
Why not?
Oh, no. I keep playing by myself, that's why.
Do you prefer to play by yourself?
I'm always by myself. My parents work all the time, so.
And how is that, being all by yourself at home a lot for you?
I think it's better, I guess. I feel better without my parents around, because a little privacy, you know. And it's good to know they trust me by myself all the time, so.
Selena is the daughter of Chinese and Vietnamese immigrants. 7 years ago, she lived with her parents and grandparents in East Los Angeles.
Do you think it's better to live in China or to live in America?
America.
Why?
I like it a lot, but I was born in America.
Selena's family left Los Angeles for the quiet of a small town in the Pacific Northwest.
How do you feel about moving up here?
It is really boring. I like LA because there's more things to do, and my friends are there, you know, so I go out more, but over here it's more of everyone settled down, and there's nowhere to be and nowhere to go. It's always the same thing. It's like there's just totally nothing to do.
Joey, can you think of a phrase to go with the word corner?
Bad boy in a corner.
Okay. B. A.
School is one experience shared by all the kids.
Bad.
Now they've just started high school, the last stop before college or a job.
We're going to review again our wants and needs in social studies. All right, Kanisha, complete the first sentence. Needs are things what?
That we must have to live.
All right, class, complete the sentence. Wants are things.
We would like to have, but we can live without them.
Why is it important to go to school?
So you can learn. And you can know what you're doing and get you an education, get you a job.
You gotta know how to read, because it might be a letter telling you to do something. You might do the wrong thing, mess up, never know.
Is this school different from other schools?
Well, they teach in a different method. They make it into a game. Instead of like, 2 + 2 is 4, and that you just get that. No two ways about it.
Chinese religions were so simplistic. You had cosmology and Taoism, legalism, and Confucianism, which were lacking really rituals or a concept of gods or some polytheistic kind of thing. So then Buddhism was... Lab school is an excellent school. It's known by many colleges. You know, last year we had 9 kids go to Harvard.
Do you get good grades?
Straight A's.
Do you have a 4.0?
Yeah.
My last report card was a bad one, but cause when I came over here, it was so easy. I kind of slacked off. Then it got better, like D's, U's to C's and D's, and then B's and C's, and hopefully my next report card will have A's and B's, and the next one just A's. Usually I do good, you know, but it's just that Milwaukee's like so. I don't know, I kind of slacked off. I admit it. But you get your education in school. In the streets, you learn how to survive. So it's like mixture. So you learn how to survive with smarts. Street smarts, school smarts. So you mix that together, and that's just real smart.
What do you think is the most important thing you've learned on the street?
About the gangs. I learned, like, what gang is what. But, you know, like in the south side, watch what I'm wearing, what colors I wear, you know. Can't wear the north side colors, you know, and I can't wear the on the north side, the south side colors, you know? I gotta be careful. But, you know, I'm not really into gang members. I got friends that are gang members. I have a lot of family members who are big-time gang members, uncles who used to be gang members. I had a chance once, but I refused it because it's like if you're in a gang, you can be out of a gang and have gang friends, and then it's another thing to be in the gang with the gang friends. You'd be in the gang, you'd have to do things, you know, that you wouldn't normally do.
Rápidamente, muy bien. Tarde? Temprano.
Private schools, the discipline is a little bit more than at public schools. I think discipline's important to go on with your life, because if you go and break rules, there's no way you're going to be able to make it after high school if you break all these rules.
Tomorrow we're going to celebrate All Saints Day at a mass honoring the saints of our church. Can anyone tell me the name of a saint that they know of? Mike?
St. Francis.
St. Francis. Tell us something about St. Francis.
He liked animals.
He liked animals.
When I was in grammar school, I just had like the same group of friends. Most of them lived in this area. They have the same ethnic background, like all Polish.
Why are they called saints? Vicky?
Because they like follow Jesus and do God's word.
Now that I'm in high school, I have friends that are like at my, like in the middle, some friends that are rich, some friends are black, some are white. It's a lot different.
Yeah, like when I go to school, like, I don't know, like all these kids are like rich, and I'm some, like, and I'm like middle class, so like all these kids are getting picked up from school, and like this like Lexus, and then some old Chevy comes up, and then well, that's me, and they're giving me some stare.
Like, it sounds like you are just doing work all the time. I can never do that.
Work and swim. I mean, that's my life. And, sleep. That's the best part. And then, like, weekend, I mean, I had so much homework. And I'm only, in 9th grade.
Do you think you can miss out on certain things in life with that much pressure on academics?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Miss the whole point of life, which isn't to go ahead and, I don't know, like, you miss, like, what about all the pleasure and, like, the fun? That should be your main priority in life, like, not to always be the best.
My mom and dad said that if you don't go to school and be smart, you might end like homeless.
Do you get good grades?
Very good.
I try to put it first, do that first before everything else, because to me that's kind of important, and to my family and my parents and everything, because that's what they look toward for. So, I don't know. It's just not the biggest thing in my life, but I just try to put it on top first before everything else.
Then you have to learn how to talk right. Like she say, I'm is a girl, or something like that. It's I am a girl. You have to learn how to talk right.
Is it important to you to get good grades?
Yes, it is. It's very important. Grades kind of sort of reflect who you are. Knowledge is the key to life. Every morning, they have to have some kind of signals if there's danger. Yesterday, this girl got caught with a blade in her book bag. That's the only thing I know about. She got caught with a razor blade, a box cutter. A box cutter. Her friend was telling her she should have threw it in the garbage while she was right there. She didn't do it. She kept it in her pocket and it went off. And they searched her and she got suspended for 2 weeks. It just seems like gangs are taking over a lot of the schools.
Have you ever been asked to join a gang, Leroy?
Mm-mm. Well, they don't ask you to join the gang. You just join it if you want to.
Did you ever think about it?
Mm-mm.
I don't want to get involved with. I think a lot of people stereotype teenagers like that they're kind of worthless and all they do is hang around and like, do drugs and other things that aren't very sophisticated and that they aren't really doing anything positive. I'm in DMLA. It's a fraternal Masonic group for boys under 21. They just meet together every once in a while and do stuff for the community.
I stand before you at the sacred DMLA altar, upon which we have placed the mighty bulwarks of our faith, the Holy Bible, the school books. Not far away rests the banner of our beloved country. They are the symbols of all that is good and right with the world. They are the standards upon which we as DMLAs have pledged to base our lives.
Cigarettes and alcohol, I think that's kind of going up because kids are feeling more depressed and just don't think as good about themselves as they should.
Trust, and justice, and brotherhood may not be considered the most virtuous of qualities.
Do you ever feel like you want to rebel?
Well, sometimes. And just get those teenage feelings and just want to do whatever you want and who cares what your parents say.
The teenage years are a time of transition. How do they feel about the changes they're going through?
I'm bringing back your money for your racket.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Bye now. She's still making me pay her that money that I lost.
For what?
I lost her racket. I'm just the kind of person who's like never happy. I'm really like critical and sarcastic of a lot of things, and I'm very, very rarely happy, and that's really sad. I'm kidding. I'm not being sarcastic at all during this lunch, at all during this day.
Okay.
I'm gonna be nice and cheery to everyone. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just that I'm not really content.
Hard to feel satisfied. So.
Yeah, not like, you know, there are sometimes that it's like such a happy moment and nothing could go wrong, but most of the time it's just like trudging along.
Like something else could be added, but you don't know what, so.
I don't know. It's really hard to explain. I just don't.
Adolescence, babe.
Yeah, that's another thing. I hate to say it, but I was so much like all through middle school and lower school and everything. I was so like happy with my life and like who I was and everything.
More confident about yourself.
Yeah, and then like 9th grade, 10th grade, just like. And I hate it because it's so cliche and everyone is always like, oh, it's adolescence, oh, blame it on adolescence. I hate it, and I always like swore to myself that would never happen, and I still refuse to believe it. I still refuse that it's like adolescence is doing that. I think it's just me.
Yeah, I know what you mean, like a general feeling of being sort of more self-conscious and insecure and not quite as confident and enjoying every single moment of life as you do in like elementary school.
Do you ever rebel?
Behind their back, no. If that's what you mean, I will in front of them. Like if they say, like if she were to tell me to clean my room, I may not clean it. See, that's something she knows. But if she says don't go to the movies and then she leaves the house, and I wouldn't go. Isn't it? Your parents are afraid that you're going to grow up too fast in one night or do something stupid, or somebody's going to tell you to do something stupid and you're going to do it.
Hold on, I have a beat. Wait. Hello?
The pregnancy rate, I know in high schools is high, especially West Orange. It's terrible. And to know that none of these people are married or even out of high school is sad. It really is sad. And there are even some middle schoolers who are pregnant. My little brother told me, and I was like, whoa, 6th grade? What are you, 11, 12? How can you do that? and it's shocking and very sad. I kind of have a reputation, and people know I'm kind of a good girl, and he knew that before. I just had to make sure that he knew it, what not to expect of me and what wouldn't go on.
Come on, Kay!
He's all right with it because he knows that's a big step also. So I'm just going to be 14 for right now, act like a 14-year-old.
We're standing there and we're handcuffed together. So we go to Mike's house and we're like trying to saw through the metal. We like break it off with a sledgehammer finally, and my hand's all aching. But then we went to look for the kid who had the key, and we finally found him and we got the handcuffs off. Yeah, I'm not going into detail.
How old is she?
She's 14. Yeah, we're going out now.
Adolescents in relationships with the opposite sex. How have their attitudes changed since they were 7?
Do you have a boyfriend, Alexis?
Well, his name is George, and he's a doorman, and he's like
Who's George.
Yes,
Doorman, who's George.
and he's about 20 or 19 years old, and he's in a rock group.
So anyways, so then he like, I guess is coming to New York tomorrow. And he, for some strange reason, wants to meet me. And Giselle tells me this yesterday, and I'm pondering why, okay? I've seen lovely pictures of this boy. I've talked to him on the phone. I've called his house a couple of times. Sorta. Like, he's more of a man who would grow on you. You know what I mean? Like, has some good looks, but you have to be around him for a while in order for him to become drop-dead gorgeous.
There are 3 relationships that girls can have with guys. Either you can just be hooking up with them, or you could be with them, or you could be going out with them. But going out is not like, you know, call you up and ask you to dinner and a movie. It's just like hanging out.
Define those 3 categories for me.
Hooking up is like, you know, you're sort of going out, you kind of go on a date here and there or whatever. Mm-hmm. Then together is like that you are kind of, you know, people see you as together all the time. You're sort of boyfriend and girlfriend. You're not really serious. You're kind of blasé about everything. Mm-hmm. And then going out is you're pretty serious. Like you are dating, as you know, parents say. You know.
And are you having sex?
What? Oh my God.
Woo!
What about we be more random and pop some more random questions?
Oh, like the guys are like, yeah, man, yeah, you know, like, and then the girls are like, and then the girls to the girl, they're like, you know, like, and then the guys to the girl are like, damn, man, that girl, you know, that girl's had sex, you know, and that's about how it is. But I think the girls get looked down upon, basically whenever they do anything. A lot of the time, whenever they're with any guy, they look down upon, like whether or not they're like a slut or something like that, you know. But the guys looked at as pimps are like, damn, man, you know, like just like looked at as like high, you know, like that's cool, man, like, you know.
Have you had a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have a girlfriend now?
I'm in the process of getting one. It's just, I knew that question was coming too, but you know, I think it's.
You're working on it?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'll have one. It's not a problem.
We chased her, and I said, whoever catches her gets to try to kiss her.
Did you catch her?
Yeah, lots of times. But
Why
I still haven't done it.
Why?
Because I just can't get to her.
She's tough to catch, huh?
No, he's not tough to catch. He's tough to kiss.
I kind of just got over one a little while ago.
Did you ever break up?
Yeah.
What happened?
Just didn't work out.
Did she break up with you?
Yeah.
My sister's shying about that stuff. She says she wants to get married with a girl. She's crazy. She don't like boys. Because, you know, boys are very, you know, they have hats, they're cool, and, you know, they be fighting and every time. The girls, they're quite good. Like, they be friendly, but the boys, they fight instead of being friendly like the girls. But I'm a little friendly. I'm friendly, I'm bad, I'm good, I'm friendly, I'm not friendly. I'm American.
There's a difference between love and lust and puppy love. Or like, you know, you can like if I like a girl, it's because she's cute and whatever I like about her. I like her. Then if you can't really say, oh, look at that, oh, I love her. You know, you can't do that. You just can't. You just like, oh, I like her, you know. And lust is something like you just want because, like the popular girl I went out with, that was, you know, lust. But that's a sin, so I ask God to forgive me for that, you know. So I don't lust nobody. But, like, you can fall in love at a young age. I think so.
She gotta get up out of
Yes.
backwards.
Oh, she just hooked me up with some girl. She asked me if I like her, and I'll say, does she like me? And then she'll say yeah, and I'll say yeah, but she'll be really lying. Because the girl she didn't even ask the girl. She goes to the girl. She asks her if she likes me, and then she goes, does he like me? And then she goes, yeah, he likes you. And then she goes, okay, so he wants to go out with you. And then she goes, ask me, so he wants to go out with you, and then we go out.
Sex is a whole different thing. Even if you know them, you don't know them that kind of way. You know, you don't know what they got, what they've done before, you know, or if they've done it before. So I'm just scared. And then to know, like, someone who's did it, and then you to go and, just the thought of it, you know, ugh.
If you caught something like an STD or something, it'll totally screw you over, you know? So, but it doesn't, I'm pretty sure people think about it sometimes, but it doesn't really seem like people think about it a lot. I broke up with him. I broke up with him.
Crazy to break up.
I don't like him anything.
That's got a fat ride.
Yeah, I saw
that. Was like a fat ride.
It's cool. I don't know. I don't like him anymore.
I don't like you, but can I get a ride?
It's weird because like I see them all the time and it's like boring, you know. So.
Are boys boring to you?
No, not well. Yeah.
Why is that?
They're too uptight, too, you know. They worry too much, I guess, from the ones I know, you know. And I don't want to break anyone's heart or, you know what I mean? It's like weird.
It's hard because some people look at the inside of you and then some people look at the outside of you, and then it's mostly people that look on the outside of you, and then they don't see the same thing as people that look in the inside of you see.
What are the qualities you look for in guys you go out with?
Ability to have fun.
Yeah, sense of humor.
Ability not to be bitchy like girls, like not to be petty and like things don't worry them as much, I guess. Guys that I'm friends with take things like kind of more nonchalantly, like, whereas I like make a huge dramatic fuss over everything.
Smart, I guess. I mean, I don't want to have like, I want to kind of have an intellectually stimulating conversation with a guy, and
I don't. I hate intellectual.
Well, I want it to be someone that you can have a conversation with. Well, I mean, I don't want to have like dumb jockey conversations. Like I want
dumb jockey conversations. I mean, you like to have like a good conversation, but like
yeah, not something like, you know, like not like a nerdy like chess club, science club, little dork with like Coke bottles as eyeglasses, but you know, a guy who's smart and has like something to say. I mean, good looking and nice body also does come in, but you know. Hey!
I get along with girls really well, but sometimes it just doesn't work out, I guess.
Why?
Let's see here. Sometimes other guys get in the way. Sometimes I'm young, you know, so like I don't want to exactly have a girlfriend or anything for a long time, you know. I'm supposed to have as much fun as I can before I get married. Marriage is fun and everything, but I'm supposed to like do the thing while I'm still young, you know. We have a dance December 12th, and like I'm in charge of the advertisement, I think. I want to get married, of course, and I think I'll get married. But marriage is really tough. All the marriages I know about, my parents' marriage, like all my friends' parents' marriages, always get messed up somehow. It was really, really hard for me when they broke up. Because I'm really close with my parents. My mom's like one of my best friends, and my dad and I are best friends too. And so it wasn't hard for me to it was hard for me to accept the fact that they didn't love each other anymore. I always knew that they loved me. Like, you know, a lot of people think like, oh, I still love you, honey. I knew that they loved me, but I was just upset because they didn't love each other, and that they weren't together, you know. And so now it's kind of cool because my dad and I talk like, oh yeah, like I'm with this new girl, and I was like, yeah, me too, and like that kind of stuff. And my dad's like, we can go double dating and stuff like that. How many goals did you have? Any goals to tournament? Yeah, 1. I'm cool with it now, I guess. But at the beginning, the first year, I was really upset, and I didn't even really want to talk about it. That's about it, I guess.
Are you interested in having a girlfriend, Leroy?
Huh?
Are you interested in having a girlfriend one day, maybe?
Nope.
How about you, Kanisha?
I don't know.
Do you want to get married one day?
I ain't gonna say I'm not, but right now, think about getting married.
Why don't you want to get married? Why?
These girls nowadays can't be trusted.
Why not?
I just don't trust them.
What about children? Do either of you want to have children?
Nope.
Nope. First, my mom and dad got divorced, and they were divorced for about a year. Then my mom got remarried, and so now I got a stepdad. Then, just about, well, it was last year, my dad got remarried, and now he's gonna have another kid. So, and she's due in January 14th, I think. So, got 2 new parents and finna have another sister.
How did going through all that feel?
Well, it really didn't. I kind of like it better when my parents split up and everything because, I mean, if it wasn't working out, I mean, they don't need to stay together. So it was better because there wasn't so much tension around the house and everything.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No, sir.
Do you want to have a girlfriend?
No, sir. I want a wife, that's all. Not right now, though.
Do you want to get married when you get older?
Yeah, it'd be hard going through life without anybody else to live with you and all that other stuff. I mean, someone to tell your problems to and everything.
I want to make sure it's like Mr. Right, and I don't know, call me a little person, but I don't want to get divorced. I mean, unless if you're like totally unhappy, but I mean, my parents will soon be married for 25 years, and that kind of sticks like a little high mantle of, you know, the marriage that I think you should have. And I see all these people, you know, and I'm just like, I mean, if you have problems, I mean, definitely you should, you know,
I'm proud of
get divorced.
my mother and father. They haven't gotten divorced, and every single other family member of mine has, so that's how I want to be.
And Kate, how about you? Because
My parents are divorced, but that doesn't
change.
Yeah, that doesn't change the family dynamics or whatever. Like,
is that hard to go through?
yeah, it's hard for anyone, but everyone moves on and you go to new things.
Okay, so Kate, when you get home tonight, I won't be here. Okay? But I'll be home by about 10. I'll be home by 9:30.
Did you Game Boy around?
No. I know where Game Boy is.
Oh, please, Mom, please. I'll do anything, please.
Did it change your life a lot when your parents got divorced?
Well, it was the same year as I moved, so I don't know. My life changed for 2 reasons, because of the move and the divorce.
Mom,
Why would you tell her? She's forgotten about it for the past 6 months. She's gonna be addicted. My general life is still the same. I live with my sisters and my mom. I mean, there's nothing fundamentally different except that I only see my father on weekends.
Is that hard not having your father around all the time?
I guess, yeah, it's sort of hard, but I feel lucky. Like, I can talk to my dad whenever I want. I get to see him on weekends, and some kids, like, they never see their father at all.
He lives right near you, right?
Yeah. That's
good.
So has it made you think any differently about marriage in the future?
What makes you think how, you know, you have this perfect little fantasy of your life and how it doesn't always work out exactly how you planned it, but somehow it works out anyway, and you realize that it didn't work out exactly how you wanted it to be, but it's not that bad. It went the other way, but you're still happy. You still have a good life.
What's the most important thing in the world to you?
Be safe. A job. To be with my family.
My grandparents. Because they have been they've been through hard times. They've seen the changes that America, I guess, has gone through. And they are able to tell me about it for what I should, you know, watch out for or look forward to. So I cherish them a lot because I know they're not going to be here always with me.
Do you think that the racism in our country is getting better or getting worse right now?
Worse. People get in their little groups that people are more so to their own color. I myself, I'm friends with everyone, but you can just look and tell, like, you know, you have the dance, and then you look over there, and there's all one color, and then you look to the other side, and there's another color. But that's just, you don't know, you notice it, but you don't notice that you're doing it.
So is there a difference between black people and white people?
It depends if they're good or bad.
How do you tell the difference between a good person and a bad person?
The way they treat you.
If a group of black boys walk into a mall, the cashier seems to hang around them. And it has happened to me, and it's ignorant of them, because I know there are some kids out there who just come into a store to do wrong, but there are some who aren't, and it's just cruel.
Some white people is friendly. Some black people is friendly. Some white people is not. Some black people is not.
People nowadays is ignorant.
About what?
They just do stupid things. Like a different race coming out of building late at night. They might get beat up. A black person go in somebody else's neighborhood, they might get shot at, beat up. Never know. That's how some people is, racist.
Have either of you ever been discriminated against?
Not as I know of.
Not me. Unless, no. Nope.
As they move out of childhood, kids begin to wrestle with the pressures of the outside world.
Oh yes, Puff Daddy. I don't like Puff Daddy. He's all right. Did I just say that?
How do they deal with the issue of drugs?
Hey, I said I don't like Puff Daddy. I didn't say he was terrible.
Why do you think people take drugs?
because they think it's very good or something, because their life is bad. And something like that, some people teach them to do it. And when they meet the gangs, they tell them, if you don't try drugs, you might kill you. And they stick the knife on their neck. And they say, okay, I'll do it, right?
It's everywhere, you know? Especially since we live here, there's nothing much to do. People tend to do that more, you know?
What specifically do they do?
People mostly drink here, you know? Smoke weed.
I might drink beer, but not that much, but I'm never going to try drugs. I'm just going to drink a little bit of beer once a year or so.
I say no. No, man. You know, if friends of mine are doing drugs, I'll just stand there and like it's funny when they're doing drugs. So drugs, that's more. I'm not involved in any, but you know, from what I hear and what I know, that's more. You know, you gotta go look for it. It's not like you're gonna just run into it. You know where it's gonna be, and if you just avoid that, you're fine. Alcohol, again, I don't condone the use of minors using alcohol, but I mean, that exists at parties. I mean, and that goes without saying.
They be wrapping paper up in it and putting crack and drugs in it, and then they'll light up with a cigarette lighter, and then they'll start smoking it.
I know a person is doing drugs when I see one. If they strung out on it, I know. I can just look at them and tell, because I see so many every day.
Why do you think people turn to drugs? Why do you think that is?
Some probably have problems. Got things on their mind. So they do drugs to get it off their mind.
Were there a lot of drugs in your school?
I know you're gonna say that. I saw that. I was like, yes. There are. It's coming.
There are?
Yeah. My God, Kate, like half of our class is druggies.
Alexis, I have a question
I would
to
call
ask
the
you.
police.
What if someone came over and said, hey, and he's like a bully, and he says, hey, try a drug, try a cigarette, and then you say, no, I would or not, and then he sticks it in your mouth. What do? What I would do is I would spit it out and then run away, and then I would say, I'm not going to take these
And
drugs.
call the police.
Yeah, I thought of it and stuff. I mean,
No, I don't think I'll ever try anything like hard. No, I definitely won't try anything harder that could endanger me at all. But I'm not saying that I'm not gonna like ever smoke a joint somewhere in my life.
I know a lot of people who have or whatever tried coke, ecstasy, Special K, a few more like pot, like almost everyone has
LSD?
Yeah, people have tried it, but
Ritalin?
that's not a big thing. Ritalin, a lot of people.
Ritalin is like a real.
Ritalin's a huge thing, but
Is it?
that's because a lot of people have ADD.
I see what it can do to a family, and I don't want that to happen. Like, I've seen what it's done to my family, drugs and liquor and violence, all that stuff. I've seen carelessness. I've seen what it's all. I've seen about everything. A lot of people say, and they're sure about this, who you around, you become. Who I'm around, I avoid. Instead of me growing up in a bad environment and becoming part of the bad environment, I become the opposite, you know? I use that to my advantage. Throw it all away. I was like, I don't want to be like him. I don't want to be like him. When I went to foster care, everything changed. The only good thing about it was I've grown stronger, like more outgoing, more understanding of things, how things work, you know? Who's there for you, who's not there for you, you know? My mom, she really helped me stay strong.
Why do you think you're so close to your mother?
I love her. I can't live without her. It's like, I've told her plenty of times, I'm staying with you till I die. You know, if I move, she's gonna move. If I'm living in a condo, she's in the next door condo. If I'm living in the garbage can, she's in the next door garbage can. It's like we're just tight. I mean, I never did want to be away from her when we went to foster care. You know, I grew up with her. I've never been away longer than 2 years, you know? But, so it's like 12 years straight with her. And even during those 2 years that I was away, we still had visits. Every weekend, visits, holiday visits. And she used to go all out. I mean, she used to have shopping carts full of toys and Easter shopping carts full of eggs and toys and games to play. Halloween, shopping cart full of makeup and costumes and a visit. This is just a visit. And it'd be like a normal day to her. She'd, you know, go all out. She wouldn't let anything change except for, you know, her.
Are you humbly grateful or humbly hateful?
What are their thoughts about religion?
I like reading the Bible a lot, and I think that God and Jesus are real people. And I also believe in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny.
What happens to people who don't believe in God?
Well, God punishes them. Like, some people, they just die if they don't believe in God. And it really does hurt God's feelings. Well, I don't think they die. God doesn't kill them. Yeah, they'd probably, like, get punished.
And they rebelled against God, which we know to be original sin. And look at the effect of sin. It destroyed the balance between a man and woman. Sexuality became a big conflict for them. They ran and hid.
They should just like let you believe what you want and not like try and force it on you, like teach it to you because you're going to a Catholic school, but they shouldn't like make you, you know, like go to mass if that's not what you believe.
I mean, we don't even know if we're right. I mean, it's just our belief. And if they believe that there's like no God or anything, well, then that's their belief.
He created everything. I mean, if he can create you, he can destroy you, and you should love and fear God because he gave you life. He created what you live on today.
Why do you go door to door?
We want everybody in the truth. Like, we have a presentation and we have magazines. Like, say, hello, my name is Joy. I knock on the door and then they come to the door and I say, hello, my name is Joy. And have these magazines that tell you about God's kingdom and how you can live in God's kingdom.
Is there a difference between Jehovah's Witness and other religions?
Yes, sir. If you believe in other gods, you won't be able to live in paradise. There's only one God, and that's Jehovah.
If God knows you have a good heart, if he knows you have a good heart and you mean well and everything, then I believe that you will be resurrected. And we believe in a paradise on earth after Armageddon.
Do they cost anything?
No, ma'am, but you can donate to the preaching word.
All right. Will that be all right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a nice day.
You have a nice day, too.
Thank you.
Do you believe you'll be resurrected after Armageddon?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, you try, but if your heart's not in it, then you won't. But I believe mine is, and I believe I will.
I need proof. I need evidence that, God exists. I mean, yeah, you're supposed to believe that he does, but if you're supposed to pray and, and you're like a little prayer and you pray, and I used to pray like every night and I would pray for all this stuff. And then the major stuff that was most important to me, I never got it. It wasn't even like, I wanted a bike. It was something that was so important and I never got it. It tested like my faith if I really did believe in it, and I don't have that proof.
Protect them from seen and unseen danger, dear God.
I pray that he watch over me as I sleep and slumber. I pray that I wake up in the morning, that I be safe. And I pray for him watching me and my sisters as we go back and forth to school.
Dear God, Lord, there's so many people afraid to come out of their house and go to the store, dear God.
I've been born again and I'm saved.
Protect them from seen and unseen.
You have to believe in God because he's the only one that's going to protect you, be there, bless you, save you. And he's the only one that can count. You can count on for anything. All you have to do is ask him, and he may not talk back to you by mouth, but he'll talk back to you by blessings.
You can believe in it, but what's gonna happen is what's gonna happen. You come to this world, you gonna die. You might live, you don't know when, you might just go to sleep and don't even wake up the next morning. You never know.
When you believe in God, you have faith. And when you have faith, you can do anything you want.
There's some people who have absolutely nothing, and they're like the happiest people because they have God. And I want to be happy. And it just all began as, oh, I just need something to do, something to keep me out of trouble. So I went to church, keep me out of trouble. Then it just became part of life, part of me.
I pray, and I don't really even have like a set religion, but I pray because I need something to believe in, and I believe that everyone does, and I believe in God, and I like to thank God and for things that He's given me, and I like to pray to God for things that I'd like.
What are some of the things you pray for?
Things like, you know, the main issues like violence and no poverty and like peace and then like, you know, usually when I'm done with like the prayer for the world, I like pray for myself. Just like things I want.
Like what?
Like material things or?
Not even, like sometimes, yeah, but like mostly like, oh, I really like, please let me do well on my SAT or like, please let me like make a shot in the basketball game or like, please let me get those new pants that I want.
Put your hands out. That's it. One time. Go on, Marissa.
What does money mean to these kids? What are their feelings about wealth and poverty?
I said, why don't poor people get a job? And my mother said it's hard for them because
no one wants poor people.
Yeah, and also they ask them where they live, and they're kind of embarrassed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they hardly have enough clothes.
It's so easy for people to say, oh, look what an easy life they have. They just get a paycheck every month. They don't even have to work. It's a horrible system. We shouldn't be sending them checks every month. But then think of the children. Think of the children of these young single mothers. There's so much the government could do. I mean, it could like cut spending and give. If we were to cut spending, we'd be cutting the money that's going to the people.
Cut like frivolous spending. That's what I meant. Like
country doesn't have many frivolous spending.
Do you think that our government should try to spread wealth out more evenly between rich people?
But that would be communism. Communism hasn't worked.
If you're used to being very poor all your life, you learn to deal with it and you make yourself happy, and that can be like a state of happiness for you. If you're wealthy all your life, you learn to deal with it, you can make yourself happy. If you're middle all your life, same thing. If you're wealthy, then become middle or something, that's when it gets hard, when you have different periods of like changing. That definitely makes me sad when you just go from having a lot of money to having like less money, or having a little money to going to have a lot of money.
Does that scare you sometimes that could happen
Yeah.
to you?
Well, it scares me a lot, and it does happen to me. Yeah, I don't want to get like too personal with it. I just want to say that like there's just, I don't know, it's really, you just don't want to have inconsistency. For me, I'd always like to have the same realms of money.
They're always used to like living the good life where like there's no crime. You could like leave like a bike out in the lawn like overnight and it would still be there in the morning. But around here it would be like gone as soon as you walked in the door.
Why you go? They think they're better than us, like, because they have a better neighborhood and like they got better houses and stuff. It just gets me angry, like sometimes, because they think they're better than us just because they got a better life than us. Or like, oh, they're in the big city, they must be in a gang or something. Or like, you know, they're living in the slums.
I would like to live in a mansion, but I would like to have a big land, because that's nice. Like maybe add a pool or something. You can't waste that much money that fast.
Is it going to be important to you to make a lot of money, to be rich when you're out of school?
Oh, how to answer that without sounding conceited? I think that would definitely be a goal of mine. For most everybody, I guess. To be well off, not to really have to worry about money. Yet I wouldn't say that would limit my life. I wouldn't want to say that would dominate my life. But just the way I've grown up, money would be an important issue to me.
The only reason why I would like to be rich is to satisfy my children for good things.
What would
like
you buy?
a lot of toys. Well, toys for them, because I know how good it feels, because I have millions of toys.
Just having money without appreciating what's around you is just as bad as not having any money and being cynical about that. I think you've got to strike an even chord. If you don't have any money, to do without it. If you do have money, to deal with it, so that you can enjoy everything around it and just not the material possessions that you might own.
You think having money makes people happier?
Yes. And it can make me happier, you know, because I've grown up with not that much money. You know, it's been hard.
If you were rich, what would you buy?
I would buy a house. I would buy a dog house, food. Now that's important, food.
Me, I can stretch $1. I can stretch $1 for a week, you know? That's like, I could buy candy and it'll last the entire week, you know? So I've grown up learning the value of $1.
The bad thing I think about being rich is like, you get a lot of phone calls and you have to pay a lot of tax. Well, you have to pay a lot of things because you might own a lot. If I have a lot of money, I could like help a charity or something that needs money and stuff like that. That's one thing I want to be rich by.
Why?
Because like I could like help homeless people get homes and stuff with the money I get. Yeah, we could probably be saints. Saint, rich person.
If you have a lot of money and if there's people out there who are trying as hard as they can and it seems like they can't, they're still poor, they still don't have a lot of money, I think that then that's when you should be very generous and give your money. But if there's people who you give them money and they go out and buy drugs and cigarettes and they're not worth giving the money to. Or else like the teenagers, they have like babies at 15 years old, the father deserts them and they go on welfare with their child and they don't even do anything to try to get out of the problem that they're in.
Should rich people give their money to poor people?
No. No, they shouldn't. Sometimes they'll give them a little money so they can at least buy some food. They shouldn't because, see, they need it for themselves. And people, the poor people, they shouldn't be doing what they're supposed to be doing. Then they would have had being rich.
Some people feel like they're rich and stuff, and they feel, oh, they so high-mighty just because they feel they got all the money and stuff. It's the attitude. We're not poor or anything. It's just sometimes it's financial problems. Like now, we're not having big financial problem, but we're having a small one because we just moved. And you know, things are not settled down with money things and stuff like that. So basically, we're not in debt or anything like that. We just having trouble.
How about you, Leroy? Do you ever worry about money?
Nope. Straight.
You know that question when everybody asks you when you're younger, like, would you rather be rich or would you rather be happy? Well, I thought about that for a long time, and I always said I want to be rich, because I thought that if I was rich, then I'd be happy. But really, it really doesn't matter, because the only reason why you're getting rich is so you can be happy. So really, if you're happy, then that's the only reason why you'd ever need to be rich.
Like a poor person could become a rich person if they just work harder and get smarter.
Like, I always hear about people how they move up in life, and that's like, I don't even see how it's done, you know? Like, you always hear, like, I started out, like working as, like, a bank teller, and then I moved up, and now I'm the president of the bank, you know? Like, I never see how that works out, but I think I'll do fine in life, but I guess I'm kind of worried about not having enough money.
You see all these rich people and you wonder, are they really happy with, you know, what they have and everything? Yeah. I kind of am worried sometimes that my dad will lose his job or whatever, because, like, his company cuts back on a lot of people lately. And so we kind of do live on a tight budget for simple reasons. My dad has to pay for college next year and my school, and they're not very cheap schools. And so, yeah, we don't have a lot of stuff to throw off on frivolous stuff and everything. So, I mean, I don't think I should have to worry because, you know, I'm only 14 and stuff like that, but it's kind of like unavoidable to
but
not
you should
worry.
separate yourself. You should make it your life so money is not as important. So if it did someday run out completely, it wouldn't matter. You'd still have other things.
If you were rich, what would you buy?
Nothing that I need right now.
Do you think you'll be married or have a job or both when you get older?
I think to have a job.
80. Good job.
My dad wants me to be a singer. And since I like to write, my mom want me to be a writer. I think I'll choose being a doctor.
81. Way to go, 80. She knows her facts.
I know what I want to be. I want to be some form of a doctor, you know, to help people. But other than that, I don't know which.
Do you want to have children when you get older?
I want to be independent as well as able to share something with someone else. So I want to have my own job, be able to, if anything happens, which I hope it doesn't, I'll be able to take care of myself. I want to have kids. That's it. I want to be independent and be independent with someone else.
I wouldn't want a very large family. I think because then I don't feel parental interaction with the children is as direct and as concentrated, which I think is important.
And I'm going to be the president, that's for sure, and probably a surgeon, probably a brain surgeon.
Well, business has been an interest of mine. So has medicine. I think the last time we talked, I was still interested in medicine, and that sort of kept through all these years.
Sometimes I want to be somebody that works on houses. Sometimes I want to be a comedian. I like comedians. I've always wanted to grow up and be funny.
I might be a taxidermist, and that's where you mount things and stuff, you know, like fish and deer and stuff like that. So I might just go to school and learn that instead of going to college too.
I might be a librarian like my mother was before she was married.
I really want to become a marine biologist. I did a program where I did marine biology, and it just drew me even closer, and like I can't see myself in an office when I get older. I don't know why. I can only see myself on a boat in the middle of the ocean, like working in a shark tank for some strange reason. Like, I love sharks.
I want to be a singer.
You do?
Mm-hmm. Anyway, this was Flying Dutchman, or De Flying Hollander, and I was like dancing around in it. I like spun around on the stage and then went off. It was just like an acting part. In La Boheme, I was a boy in the second act and a girl in the third act. Then this is another picture from Falstaff. I did the opera for 5 years, love it. Will probably sing in my free time and stuff, but it's not going to be my career. I think I want to try and go into advertising when I'm in my 20s, 30s or so. And then all the meanwhile, like in my free time, be writing, try and get things published, like just as a hobby, but try and get things published. And then when I retire, I'm definitely going to live out in like some rural place and just like be on my own and write like all day, all night. I just be writing.
I've always wanted to work in as either like a teacher or a social worker in an inner city school. I don't know, that's always been an interest I've had.
I want to live on my own for a while, and don't think that right away I have to have a husband and then pop out a baby, because I don't know, like in my profession, being on a boat or, marine biology, you move around a lot. And having a husband would be kind of hard because your husband would have to move around. And right now I wouldn't be willing to give up what I want to do. And then
You're
having
only 15 or not.
well, and then having a kid, then you have to give up a lot of other stuff too. So
I definitely say that I'm gonna spend a few years out on the town living the life of an unmarried person.
A lawyer or a doctor or a director like you are.
I want to be an architect or something, design stuff, because I like designing things and stuff. So I maybe want to be an architect or something. I don't know, maybe a surgeon. Not like no regular doctor, but something difficult, like not many people could do.
Army man.
Getting into computers, rap, basketball.
I know the best thing to make money for.
A lawyer.
A lawyer? I'm gonna be a lawyer. My mama's lawyer. She don't got no lawyer when I grow up.
A lawyer.
That's what you wanted to be when you were 7.
6.
So you still want to be a lawyer? Why do you want to be a lawyer?
Because I like the job, and Thurgood Marshall, he was a lawyer, so I wanted to follow his footsteps.
I was watching a TV show, and then there was the people playing Nintendo to get money. So I wanted to be that when I grew up.
My dream is to because I really like playing guitar. I'd like to play guitar in a band, but that's more my dream. But I'd also like to be a pilot. Yeah.
I want to be a marine something after that. A marine something, and I study about all kind of fish and stuff. And my eye doctor's son, he discovered a new kind of shrimp.
I would like to be a teacher and have the kids look up to me. I think I could have fun doing it, and I think I could give whoever I'm teaching a good time too.
I think I want to be a physical therapist because I'm into sports a lot right now, so I think it would be fun to, a sports therapist, to be around people who work with sports.
I want to be a math teacher and a German teacher.
Biochemical engineering is what I'd like to go into.
I'm gonna be a cop, fireman, a scientist, and I want to be that say jokes and everything. That guy that he works to say in a displays, that they be on stage and people be eating, and I be saying jokes. A comedian. I'll be a comedian. I'm a good comedian. I said 4 things. I'm gonna be working hard.
I have big dreams. I don't want to do something if I can't be an actor, be a scientist, work in the school. That's not how I like it. If I can't be an actor, football, pro football. If I can't be an actor, I go back to college and try to get us drafted to the NFL. I wouldn't want to stay somewhere small, or go through years and years of school just to be a lawyer. I don't like lawyers. I don't trust lawyers or judges, people like that. Cops are cool, I'll probably be even though cops is not that big of a thing, I like cops, like that detective type thing,
Policía.
Medicine.
Yeah.
Scientist.
Do you know what kind of scientist?
Any kind of biography, anything.
Can you major in business? Maybe business. Can you major in film? Film or business, I guess. Those are interesting subjects. Maybe marine biology. That sounds like a lot of fun.
will the future hold for our kids when we next see them at 21? What will be different? What will be the same?
Do you think you're happier now or when you were 7?
Probably when I was 7. Whenever you're 7, I mean, you got no worries or anything like that. So I was probably happier back then.
I don't have as much as an active imagination as I did when I was 7. I mean, if I just looked at some box, I'd be like, yeah, it's a box. But when I was 7, it was like oh, it could be like a spaceship. Yeah, that was a big thing. The box was like a spaceship or something like that.
Power Slave's the best one. The Power Slave. I should, because I don't have that one. I got that one.
How can you guys listen to this stuff?
I mean, my life was like so boring. I mean, I just go out with my friends and that's fun and all that. But nothing real big is happening, you know. But I wanted my life to just be exciting, not just like stay in the house all day and have some boring life.
It was hard then, it's hard now. Whatever was easy then is easy now, you know. It's just bigger situations. Your mom gives you a plate of rice, you just eat it all, and you don't want to eat it all, but you eat it all anyway. Now, you eat it all and more. Instead of making sure you eat the first plate, she makes sure you eat the second plate, you know. So, I don't know, I guess I was happy then and now.
I think I was happier then. Just a little kid and just playing around. And now they leave you more work in school, and you don't have enough time to go play outside.
Life's more fun now, but I didn't have a care on my shoulder when I was 7. So, I guess you could say I was happy when I was 7, but life's going really well with me, and so I'm happy now too, I guess.
Well, there's good things about being 7 and good things about being 14. I kind of like spending time with myself and just relaxing. I think everybody needs that in this day and age. Everybody just needs to take it down a notch every once in a while.
You're through with the main part of your childhood, but you're not even close to adulthood yet. You still have a long ways to go. You're sort of in between.
You want to remain that little innocent child, but then you're like, no, you can't, because, you know, you have to grow up, and you have to be your own person, but it's kind of annoying.
Now that I look back on my childhood, I always was such a drama queen. Everything was always like a trauma to me. When I was 7 years old, I mean, you just don't even realize how young that is.
Do you think you're happier now or when you were 7?
7.
7.
Okay. Whoops.